While exercising in Phoenix, Caitlin Clark's ankle sustained a bone bruise. According to them, the injury occurred somewhere between August and December. Scott Agnes is that person. It's time to disclose that ankle injury from August 7th, bro. Officially, Caitlin Clark's injury condition is a complete disaster. Caitlin Clark had another injury almost 2 weeks ago, as we learned today. It seems that Caitlin, even though it's a minor ailment, Clark has now sustained an ankle injury. Fans believed Caitlin Clark was almost ready to make a comeback, but unexpected news revealed yet another serious injury. Caitlin Clark's season was hampered in part by her many injuries. Additionally, it may have permanently halted her 2025 WNBA season. Anything that has the potential to go wrong will. Apparently, Caitlin this concludes the matter for Clark. That concludes it. That concludes it. That concludes it. Hang it up. It's finished. It's finished. Everyone, it's finished. 2 weeks ago, Caitlin Clark was working out in Phoenix when she sustained a bone bruise in her ankle. Nothing like this, so why tell us now? This company is operated similarly to a mom-man-pop store. Fans are left perplexed by her status since it doesn't make sense. While exercising in Phoenix, Caitlin Clark's ankle sustained a bone bruise. Indeed, this organization is being operated like a mom-man-pop business, dude. God. For example, as in, what's happening? According to them, the injury occurred somewhere around August 7th. However, I'm not purchasing it. They are lying to us, and it's all bullshit. My confidence in the Indiana Fever front staff has been totally undermined by their treatment of Caitlin Clark's injury. According to them, the injury occurred somewhere around August 7th. Hey, that's Scott Agnes. They become completely untrusting. I no longer trust the Indiana Fever front office. Nothing they're saying makes sense to me. I'm not having any fun with them. It's time to update on the ankle injury sustained on August 7th. Before the season ever began, what were the chances that the Indiana Fever would not make the playoffs? The announcement of this terrible news has left more questions than answers. It's time to update on the ankle injury sustained on August 7th. Before we begin, ask a question. Before this season began, what were the chances that the Indiana Fever would not make the playoffs? Caitlin Clark's coach stepped on her ankle, aggravating her condition. Yes, she was unintentionally stomped on by her own assistant coach during a game. She's already had a cursed season, and this is even more incredible. Her coach not decided to stand on her ankle, which caused her to worsen her ailment. It's simply not ideal, she said, when her coach stepped on her ankle. Stephanie White expressed her optimism that Clark will return to practice this week during the ESPN broadcast, but it was later revealed that Clark had sustained a minor ankle injury while recovering. According to one reporter, it had an impact on her. No, another said. Officially, the Caitlin Clark injury scenario is a jumble since, in addition to lacking additional clarification, there are more uncertainty regarding her possible timing, and that follows the fact that it seemed to be very obvious when Clark or she would return to court. On the August 12th ESPN broadcast, Stephanie White expressed her optimism that Clark will return to practice this week. Today we learned that Caitlin Clark had another injury on August 7th, which was about 2 weeks ago. This is the first fan, although the Fever were aware of it all along. Are listening. If she is being put back, it is suspicious and illogical. Today, we learned that Caitlin Clark had another injury about 2 weeks ago, to be exact. I was blown away when I saw this, and I've made an effort to stand back and not believe that the Indiana Fever is complicit and complacent, that they're attempting to conceal anything and so on. Now all bets are off. It seems that Caitlin Clark's injury is not improving. She reportedly injured her ankle, which is preventing her from going back. Supporters believed she would be ready shortly, but suddenly everything is different once again. It seems that Caitlin Clark has now sustained an ankle injury, so I'm not sure what this is all about. According to sources, her comeback schedule is unaffected by her injured ankle. Is there a deadline for returning? As if we must be truthful here. Is there a deadline for returning? Therefore, I don't believe there is. There isn't, in my opinion. Caitlin Clark's season has taken yet another turn for the worse. This time, it's being described as an ankle bone bruise. Every time fans get asked, we wait for her to return, a fresh injury detail comes to light. There is more to this injury, according to sources. Let's go straight to the point, bro. About 20 minutes ago, Chloe Peterson said, after weeks of waiting, new reports confirm another injury and Kayla Clark may already be done for the Indiana Fever after suffering a very minor bone bruise in her left ankle on August 7th. According to sources, it's all BS, it's nonsense. It's false hope to get people to keep showing up and buying tickets. They have us content creators waiting and hoping. Hey. They said she would return to the Indiana Fever. Fans are left wondering if she will even return to the court this year. We hear that this ankle injury hasn't affected her timeline. But if it prevented her from running, how could it not? Doesn't make sense. The messaging from the Fever has been inconsistent from the beginning. And now there's another injury that I believe hasn't affected her timeline for returning. Perhaps this is the empty time. Scott Agnes says she's still weeks away, but earlier. She was listed as day-to-day. These reports keep contradicting themselves. One day they're optimistic, the next they're delayed. That's absurd. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't compute. If it prevented her from running and other activities, of course it set her back. Fans have lost all sense of reality. And after witnessing the media and fans going crazy over Caitlin's lack of practice today, they decided to use her weak, unimportant ankle injury as a diversion. Why didn't they just report it weeks ago? As if it weren't necessary, and if it's just a minor bone bruise. It doesn't affect this. There are conflicting reports about whether Caitlin Clark will play again this season. One report claims that she only has a minor bruise and nothing serious, while another claims that it is much worse and has caused her return to be delayed. Ankle injuries do not affect her return timeline. She would still be out recovering from her groin injury. So Caitlin Clark essentially got hurt again. Fans hear one thing from insiders, and then see something completely different on the court. The information regarding Caitlin Clark's injury doesn't match up, leaving everyone confused. I don't know. It's definitely looking really spooky right now, because if Caitlin was hurt and supposed to have been not doing certain things, how did the Fever organization allow her to get hurt again? It's more unclear than ever. Here's the quote. "Until she can get into practice, and until you guys see her in practice, is really status quo." Stephanie White said when asked if there was any news on Caitlin Clark. "It's over, folks. Let's not keep giving ourselves hope." Caitlin Clark sat off to the side of practice in the area that was available to the media today. Let's not mean it's done. It's done. Chloe Peterson claims that Caitlin Clark's ankle injury has no bearing on her timeline, but Scott Agnes says the exact opposite. As fans, we are constantly receiving contradicting information. So let's examine the reporters' divergent positions. We have Chloe Peterson and Caitlin Clark publicly stating that Caitlin Clark's ankle injury has no bearing on her schedule, while Scott Agnes is stating the exact opposite. Yes, he stated that the injury had affected her availability. But the worst part is that, according to sources, it occurred right at the end of a workout. Reporters are laughing, but fans are frustrated because it's inconsistent. Oh guys, I found it. This is him right here. Now he's laughing. You're laughing at Caitlin Clark's shirt. Listen. Worst thing about it? While one side blames it on bad luck, others accuse the Fever of concealing details. A few sources told me the worst about it, and then you took a bad step on a defensive series, and you lied. He was happy to lie, so you're laughing that Caitlin Clark is hurt, bro. It's terrible timing. Not that there's any good timing, to be clear, but that's something she and Woe do you trust. One reporter says one thing, the other says the exact opposite. fans are left in the dark. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Scott Agnes says this new ankle injury is affecting her return, while Chloe Peterson says it has no effect. She's laughing and drinking a beer now. Scott Agnes claims that Caitlin Clark's recovery from a recent injury is affecting her return timeline, while Chloe Peterson claims that this has no bearing on her return timeline. Who do you trust? I'm not. Sure, but I might believe what you say that this won't affect her timeline. Scott Agnes says she'll be out longer, but no one knows if that's true. I don't, but I might if you weren't the same person who told us that her new quad injury earlier in the season had nothing to do with the first quad injury from preseason. One source says it's just a tweaked ankle that doesn't affect her, while another says it has changed everything. It doesn't affect anything. Telling the public was pointless. For example, minor football isn't explained why you still can't sit properly, and either of you is just keeping it 1,000. Scott Agnes is going to rot in hell. According to one source, he had a tweaked ankle, but now it's a bone bruise. The person who said Caitlin would be out for some time was Scott Agnes. When I asked how he knew, he said, "Just trust me." Scott Agnes was essentially withholding information and saying, "Oh, you know, I'm the source. Just trust me." I responded, "Yeah, we know you're the source, but like Scott Agnes says, the injury has impacted her availability." Chloe Peterson, Hover, claims it has no bearing on her comeback. These inconsistencies prevent fans from knowing Caitlin Clark's true situation. Although he acknowledges that the injury has affected her availability, Chloe Peterson states, "Sources confirmed to me that Caitlin Clark suffered a very mild bone bruise in her left ankle on August 7th. Scott Agnes, first." Additionally, the source emphasizes that fans are sick of being jerked around. Caitlin Clark needs to hang up. Season is over. In addition to her son's ankle injury, she would still be out recovering from her groin injury. Now suddenly, she has an ankle injury from 2 weeks ago, and reporters are unable to agree whether it affects her return timeline. A bone injury occurred 2 weeks ago, and one reporter said, "Oh, it hasn't affected her timetable to return." But according to another source, it has impacted her return schedule. What are we fans to believe? You guys need to quit dragging us around and get it together, dude. This is absurd. I urge Caitlin Clark to stop acting like this dot of Indiana, bro. Because this is where she was hurt. Your coaching staff injured your team's best player, and the fans are upset about how negligent the organization has been. Get him. See how happy he is. I mean, Caitlin Clark needs to leave Indiana immediately. The best player on your damn team was hurt by a member of the coaching staff. And fans think the Fever has mishandled her care. A minor foot bruise doesn't explain why Caitlin Clark is still unable to sit properly and is still limping on a grade 1 groin 6 weeks after she suffered a strain. Beat writers hiding details only fuel further controversy. Strain from 6 weeks ago. These individuals believe that we're still in the dark. Do beat writers revealing these half-truths from the organization only cause more controversy and fan inquiries? The answer is straightforward. Their failure to provide Caitlin Clark with proper care directly resulted in secondary injuries. However, the situation is now much more complicated. It feels like a season from hell, and fans are losing hope. I feel bad for Caitlin Clark at this point because everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, from her body failing her to teammates stepping on her. The Fever have so many fans that they fill away arenas, something that most teams can't do for the small. It's just terrible to see this. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? The Indiana Fever are probably the only team that really fills out away fans. And this gets away fans going as much as, after 5 weeks of waiting, fans of the Fever are still unsure of whether Caitlin Clark will return, which has left them frustrated and wondering if her season is over. When things get out of hand with a superstar like Clark, people will start to wonder if she is okay, suffer a setback, but it's not out of pocket. No one is requesting a detailed medical report, but after 5 weeks away, fans of Fever are wondering if she will return in time for the playoffs by the end of the regular season. What is a realistic window? Where is she in the recovery process at the moment? As far as I'm concerned, right now, you've got the most popular basketball player in the world, whether it's men's or women's, and that has a fervent fan base that is more loyal to Caitlin Clark than they are to the Indiana Fever or the WNBA. Fans are clamoring for updates, but the team is responding with silence and attitude, which has sparked backlash against the Fever in the league itself. I'm not sure if that bothers these coaches or this organization, but if it does, they're in serious trouble, and the league is too. Fans are growing impatient with every update. And Caitlin Clark's injuries are getting worse, and they're beginning to accept that she won't be returning this season. The team is hopeful that Caitlin Clark, who has been out for over a month, will be able to return to practice next week. She has been concentrating on conditioning, cardio, running, and shooting. They say things like, "We hope she can rejoin practice throughout the entire process." Every fresh report just makes things have gotten worse. Fans believed Caitlin Clark was on the verge of making a comeback, but now the story is about her being done for the season. The backlash is growing as people's faith in the Fever keeps eroding because they allowed her to potentially hurt herself again. They say this won't affect her time returning. I just want you guys to watch her walk quickly. Keep an eye on this. The season feels lost. Supporters who have spent time and money are left feeling frustrated, and reactions indicate that people are beginning to believe that Caitlin Clark's 2025 campaign is over before it even started. I know she was here. She has been here time and time again. Any news on her? No. I'm telling you, Caitlin Clark is done. Please leave a comment and let me know what you think. Till she can get into practice and you guys see her in practice, we're really just the same as we have been. Bree Turner played some important minutes for you there late. Her 2025 season is officially over. However, since your coaching staff injured your team's finest freaking player, Caitlin Clark deserves more, and her Indiana season is over. Caitlin Clark has to hang up because it's over. I don't know what the hell is going on, but I'm telling you, Caitlin Clark is done. Your coaching staff hurt the best damn player on your team. A member of the coaching staff hurt the best damn player on your team. It's done, y'all. Get down in the comments and let me know what you think. We're receiving conflicting reports. From insiders, I don't see Caitlin Clark returning this season. The injuries, the setbacks, the bad look, all of it points to her season being over. Is this even a real injury series? Who knows at this point? The best player on your damn team, someone who never missed a game in college, is now breaking down in the pros. They screwed her up, and now her season has completely fallen apart. Who knows? Pope could be correct. Hope said this from the beginning. I think there's a 35% chance she comes back. Think he's a 35% chance. Week ago, I was on the 70% chance that she plays. It's a whole conspiracy, folks. It's a whole conspiracy. It's time to accept that Caitlin Clark's 2025 WNBA season is over before it truly took place, because the clock is ticking and there is still no clarity. At this point, it feels more realistic to shut Caitlin Clark down and get ready for next year. Fans continue to show up for her, but she isn't playing. Bless her heart. Everyone knows that this season is lost and she has been setback after setback. This isn't just a delay. It's the end. Caitlin Clark's season is over, and the only question now is what will happen next year, after 5 weeks. Away from the pitch, fans of the Fever are wondering if she will return in time for the playoffs by the end of the regular season. No one is requesting a detailed medical report, but it's not out of pocket. Fans put a lot of effort into this season, but it's over. Caitlin Clark's 2025 journey was cut short, leaving you disappointed that they allowed her to possibly hurt herself again. They say that this won't affect her time returning, but I just want you to watch her walk quickly. That's it. Now that they have messed her up. Caitlin Clark's 2025 season is over. Everything that could go wrong has gone wrong, and she is done for the year. It feels more realistic to shut her down and focus on the upcoming season because everyone knows that this season is lost and Caitlin Clark needs to end it. I was 70% chance a week ago. It's a complete conspiracy, people. It's a full conspiracy. Hang up, it's over, it's done, y'all. Hope could be correct. Hope stated this from day one. Caitlin Clark's 2025 season may be over, but the story isn't. Stay tuned and remember to like, subscribe, and share for more updates. I was 55% chance earlier today, but it's not out of pocket after 5 weeks out. For fans, Fever fans, and the Indiana Fever were totally unprepared for Caitlin Clark.